Welcome to Stuck in My Mind podcast, the show where we dive into the mind of a regular guy on his road to self-discovery. You'll hear everyday people just like you share the latest topics, personal stories, and things they've learned along the way. And now, please welcome your host, Wise.
And welcome to another episode. I am your host, WIZE, and I have another special guest on today. He's a choreographer, Broadway performer, dance teacher, fitness instructor, but he mainly is a teacher. And I just want to welcome to the show, Joseph Corella. What's going on, Joseph?
Thank you, Wise, for having me. Happy to be here and chat.
Oh man, it's great to have you. So again, you're a choreographer and all that. At what age did you start dancing?
I started dancing when I was 7. So I'm originally from Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm really glad I was able to start dance at a young age. And I actually started and then did it for a year, and then I was like, I'm gonna try baseball, and then I wound up doing that for a year. But the only thing I realized in that moment was I liked putting on the uniform more than playing baseball itself. Go figure. And then I went back into dance and never stopped, and it's been my whole life.
All right, you danced on you danced on Broadway. You're
Yeah.
choreographer, teacher, but now you found more meaning with your dancing. What is that?
Well, I mean, I think when I did growing up, I danced because I loved it. It was something that I fell in love with, but I didn't think too deep about it in a way. But as I continued to dance through life, I learned a lot of valuable lessons of um, really taking care of myself, body and mind. And I really try to share that message now with people of what dance can do for you, and how dance can help you, no matter if you've danced before. I especially with what I do now, I have a company called 567 Broadway, which is a dance fitness class to Broadway music. Go figure. My love for musical theater. I created something that would be for everyone, and it's really great to see people come together and move through their lives. I think through this last couple years, through the pandemic, we for sure have being stuck. We've had to really move in our homes, and so I've been really guiding people, especially these last couple years, with through the pandemic, of just dancing through all those emotions. And I don't take it for granted, and I love what dance, what music, what creativity, what the arts can do for everyone. And I really try to share that message with as many people as I can.
And your students, they can be any age. They vary in age. Do they have to be expert dancers? The
Nope, not at
beginners?
all. Yeah, I mean, I have people from age 18 to 75, have danced before, have never danced before, all different, really, truly, all different types of people. It's really cool because the pandemic has been difficult, and it's been as a creative person, to kind of go with the flow. You're like, okay, well, now I'm home. What am I going to do? I used to really teach a lot in person, and so I started doing virtual classes, and now I have people from all over the world, and that's really cool, and that's really interesting to see people from Australia, Germany, Canada, Brazil, all over. And it's really cool that we all came together. And there's some people that I've barely heard their voices. I only know them by their their little square, on the screen. And and I've developed relationships with these people that way. I never would have imagined that this would be. So I think that's another thing with me, is like, I really just try to encourage people to kind of, especially if you're putting on a show and a musical, you can't be like, well, this changed. I'm going to hold down. And it's like, we kind of go with the flow, and that's what creativity is about. And you have to really say, okay, this is the new parameter. How am I going to make it work? Make it work. And it's been really cool to see people join together and work together virtually in a new way that I never imagined.
No, you're absolutely right. Even with me, I've like the pandemic forced me to really started doing I had been wanting to do a podcast, but I had been procrastinating and just kept blowing it off and making excuses for why I couldn't do it. So then the pandemic struck, and I was home, and all I had was a wife to do list. And I didn't want to continue to do the wife to do list all day, every day. I wanted to find something else. So I just started recording. I just pressed
Yeah.
record, and it just come to find out who knew I had a voice, who knew I was able to actually have a podcast that I just went over 5,000 downloads.
That's great.
And to me,
Congratulations.
that's amazing. Yeah, to me, that's like, I did it just to record and have a good time. And at first, people wouldn't want to show up, wouldn't come on the show because I wasn't established. I didn't have, but then I started building up relationships and with people virtually. Like some of these relationships I've built up, these are friends that are going to be friends for years. And it's amazing how doing podcasting has brought me to people all over the world. Like you said, I've
Yeah.
interviewed with people in Italy, Turkey, India, all over the world. And that, to me, had I not started a podcasting, I would have never been able to experience that.
Yeah.
So it's been it's been rough, but it also has been a blessing and opening a lot of opportunities for me as far as being creative.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I don't think people sometimes understand how we are creative beings, whether, from what shirt we wear to how we do our hair. Every little thing is actually a creative expression. But it's that's why I really try to help people connect to that and try things. Listen to your heart, because when you your heart was telling you, I need to do this, and the time came, and you went for it. You pushed forward, and now it's grown into what it should become. And that's why I feel like dance helps people. There's something for everyone, so I will say that. But I think when people that are like, yeah, I should dance, and when you connect to that, it really guides you on what you should do for your life and the choices you should make. It allows you to listen to your heart, get into your body, connect to music. And I've been reminding people through the pandemic, I'm like, let's just be grateful that we're not on AOL dial-up anymore, and that we can actually like that this is pretty decent compared to the days of when
Some of them,
watching
they
the
just
man
don't.
cross the
Yeah, they
screen.
don't know. They're not experienced. They don't know what that is. They don't know what that is.
Ah,
They don't know
I'm
the
so glad we
torture.
don't
The
have that.
torture would be. Yeah, they don't know the torture would be when someone would pick up the phone. Hey, I'm online. And you, like, as soon as somebody picked
Oh,
up the phone, it would disconnect you from the service. These kids
yeah.
today don't know what we had to go through
I mean,
growing up when the
technology
internet
has
first
is
came out. Yeah,
advanced. Yeah, I
it
don't miss
has
the
its
days of like
issues.
sitting there and
No,
waiting for it
yeah,
to
I don't
cross
miss
the
none of
little
that.
man. And then you're like, yay.
No,
And
I don't
then,
miss none
yeah,
of
so
that.
someone picked up the phone, it would disconnect the internet. And you're like, ah.
Yeah, that's showing our age right there. So,
But I mean, I try to. I'm like, listen, because people, now we're in a pretty fast age. Information gets out there so quickly, and I just try to. I'm like, let's just let's take a moment, let's take a pause. Like, let's appreciate what we have and how we can really use technology as a positive way, because we all know that there's a lot of ways to use it negatively, but there is really great things like what we're doing right now, and virtual classes and all these things that really helped us. We'll look back, and 10 years from now, people will look back at what we did during this time to cope and survive and try to stay sane through all the craziness.
oh, you're absolutely right. Now, honestly, it's been probably the last 6 or 7 episodes that I incorporated video into my podcast.
Mm.
At first, I was just a strictly audio podcast, and then I had two guests on, and they kind of like, um, hey, so you don't do video? I'm like, no, and they're like, yeah, that's a mistake. You need to really do that. They're like, you're missing an opportunity with all that extra content. And I said, yeah, okay. Press record. And they said, oh, see, good. You're good. That's it. They said step one. You're coachable. That's good. So they just kept talking, and it made sense. I had been already wanting to go to to do video, but there was little. I started recently now tinkering with green screen and using
Mm.
OBS, and so now I feel more comfortable doing video.
Yeah.
So I just press record, and
Yeah.
that,
You
that
make
now
it
now I do
create.
videos. Yeah,
I like it.
it was.
This is great. And you're I listen to one of your podcasts. You're a gamer though. Like you kind of know the virtual world a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I do not. Like I dance and I like, but the gaming world I don't know, which is a fascinating world to me actually.
Yeah, but that though, like, I haven't gained honestly my subscription to PlayStation Plus right now, and I didn't I had a year subscription. I did not use it whatsoever. It's just collecting dust over there. Because I've started a podcast. I've started a production company. I actually have an internet radio station,
Hmm,
and so
that's great.
now I've connected with some other fellow podcasters, and we've developed a network where we're going to be all doing TV shows, and so it's just I haven't had time to game, and I haven't really missed it because I found something that I truly love doing. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. You moved on to the new the thing that's right for you. So I love that.
yeah, it's opened so many creative avenues for me that I didn't know were there.
Yeah.
I've been able to capitalize on different opportunities and just feel comfortable that eventually, who knows, I just might make it full time and do this all the time. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. I mean, because you said I remember in your podcast that you had said, well, because gaming kind of took you back, like pulled you in a way, like, but that you now with doing podcast, being a podcast host, you actually have your personality and who you are. It's really helped you grow into who you didn't think you actually were. Is that
Yeah,
right?
no,
Am I summarizing that right?
no, it's given me an outlet to really come into myself a little bit more, to really
Hmm.
open up and just be able to talk, and I guess is just the fact that I get to speak to people and they share their stories, and sometimes something they might say I might okay take that and apply it, and it's me. I'm like I'm saying, this is me just learning as well, wanting to learn other aspects. What are other people doing right now to
Hmm.
be successful, or to do something positive that they love doing and enjoy doing. Someone might hear your story about, hey, I was a dancer, I do this, and come and be like, wow, okay, I was a dancer, this is something I might be interested in doing.
Yeah.
To me, it's just something, just being able to provide positive content for people to just enjoy, and if somebody learns from it, I'm greatly happy. I'm appreciative. If one person really gets anything from one episode, I'm happy with that, because that's what I'm here for, is to share
Yeah.
knowledge and to share people's story.
Yeah. Because you can, if you change one person's life, even just one, that ripple effect is really incredible. That's why I love teaching, because it goes into their communities, into their families, into with the friendships. If you can help somebody, it has the ripple effect. So that's why I really encourage people, especially when I teach. Like I'm like, okay, if you love this, then go share that with somebody else, because somebody else might need to hear that, but we have to share it. And I think if we all hold things and don't communicate and don't talk, then we're not sharing anything. We're not helping each other. That's why I've started doing more podcasts and talking about my journey and kind of what I've been through to where I am now, because I don't know, maybe that could help someone.
Yeah, no, like, absolutely, yeah, that's right. And I've had episodes where people have reached out to me, say, hey, this episode really helped me out, and that's what I appreciate, is when people send me messages and send me feedback. I take criticism. I take it, and I know what I need to improve on. I'm learning. I'm still learning and developing, but everyone is still growing and developing.
Oh
And
yeah.
I just feel that this is something I'm just going to continue to do as long as I can.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, true. That's true. Everybody, even if people look like they have it together, everybody's learning. Everybody's learning. Like, I think that's one thing living in Los Angeles and, with Hollywood, you think it's there, people know how to produce moments and make it look like it's all glamorous, but there's a lot of people who are just like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm going for it. And that's actually really a big lesson I've learned with being in LA is like, hey, just go for it, do it. Because there's something about when I was in theater there, it's very planned and you rehearse and you do. There's so much, and don't get me wrong, it is you kind of learn as you go, but there's a lot of like, there's a lot of rehearsal in a way. And I feel like when being in LA, it's a little bit different where it's like, I don't know, you want to do that? Okay, we'll go for it. And you do see what happens, see where the road takes you, and we'll see what door opens.
No, you're absolutely right. Because when I started, like, since I've started podcasting, even my wife has been like, okay, there's something here. Go ahead. She doesn't, when I'm recording, she doesn't bother me. She's like, well, when she would ask, hey, when are you recording? So I don't bother. Like, I don't just want to. But then, because I've switched it where at first I was recording every day, Monday through Sunday. But then I'm like, you know what? No, Saturday and Sunday I'm not going to record unless it's really important or they just get. That's the only time because those are the days that she has off and that me and her go out and do us.
Yeah.
So I haven't recorded Saturdays and Sundays, but I have a convention coming up in December where I'm a sponsor of it, and I'm also doing a podcast for it, and I'm doing a few panels. But she understands because she knows this is what I love to do. So
yeah,
it's cool.
I like that.
So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I just come on and I'm not scripted. I just try not to be scripted because then if I feel that I'm being all robotic and just not being myself. So I just try to come on, have a good time, learn a little something about you, and just have a conversation just so that people can enjoy. I don't want people to come on and be answering the same questions 20 million times all over, like on all these different podcasts. Like I could have read the questions that they have from Podmatch, whatever it is from. So, but no, I just wanted to really get to know you and your personality, and just not asking the same questions everybody else is going to ask you.
Yeah, I think this is why, again, for me, why I wanted to get on more podcasts was to have conversations with people. I think that's really important. I think that's really necessary that people have. I think people are stuck behind their phones and stuck. They're not. I think we need to be having more conversations and in a in a healthy way, And that's why it's nice to talk about our journeys. I think that's the best way is like, what is like your journey? I got to hear it a little bit when I listened to your podcast, and it's like, it's helpful when someone's like, this is what I've been through. And you're like, okay, great. Maybe there's some things that people can pull from that. Maybe there's some things that they're like, I don't relate to that. But I think if we talk about our journeys and what we have learned along the way, I think that's can be really helpful for some people, and that's why I think these conversations are really important.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I enjoy doing this, because I just get to open up, and sometimes it's therapy for me as well. Because sometimes I get to tell a story that I might have or something I just might have on my mind and be able to express myself. Like recently, I've been doing a lot of live like kind of shows on my platform that releases my audio podcast, and it's just been great. I've been receiving a lot of good feedback from doing the lives. It's actually helped with my podcast itself, because then I've gained more listeners that listen to the live. They're like, okay, you got a podcast too? Okay, let me check it out. So I've been able to gain listeners doing that. And it's me again, it's me growing and developing. Like, these are tools that I have at my disposal that I need to use.
Yeah.
So I'm learning little by little that, okay, I need to do more lives, generate some buzz on that, build up some more followers that way as well.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, it's just learning and growing.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, if you build it, they will come, and sometimes it's slow and then sometimes it's fast. It's ever changing too. I think that's the things like with running my company with 567 Broadway. It's ever changing. I mean, it changed for the live stream classes. I created a workout video, and that was a journey, just like with you starting a podcast and kind of being like, hey, well, here I go, and I'll learn as I go. I know for me, the workout video was one of those super stressful. And but I'm I'm glad I'm listening to my heart and following and trying to take some chances. And I'm trying to also too, for me, like I can be very I think dance has taught me to be very disciplined, and which is
Yeah.
great, but at the same time I'm like, okay, slow it down. It doesn't need to be perfect, because sometimes I can be a little bit of a perfectionist, and I
Oh,
really
no, I
am
feel
like
you.
I'm trying to just be like, okay, it's like, for instance, I got this new camera and I'm not using it right now because for podcasts. So my webcam works pretty well for that I have, but I got a
What
better
camera
one,
did you get?
the Logitech like C922, and because that's what I'm doing research,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's what seems.
I'm not so real good. I have right now I'm just using my Canon, but that's my webcam is the Logitech 9. Yeah, that one. I have that one. I
Well, and then
recommend
I'm
it for
like,
anybody.
it's great, but it at the same time, like I'm trying to understand it, and it has like all these settings, and I'm like, so it's a slow process, because right now when I used it earlier, it just looked all crazy. But you're like, I'm trying, but I'm trying just to be like, okay, well, it doesn't need to be perfect, because I can
No,
jump into that sometimes.
you will improve with the times. Like the more you do it, the more like I didn't do like I didn't know anything about equipment, about sound quality. I had bought me a little mini podcast studio that I paid like $160. Came with a mixer,
Mhm.
an adapter for my laptop, a mic, and headphones. And that's what I started with.
Yeah.
But then when I really went there, but then when I really started recording more and having more guests, I'm like, and I had been furloughed from my job, and I
Mhm.
had some extra money coming in. So I was like, okay, let me invest in what is some better equipment, which I did. I bought me a better mic. I
Mhm.
got me the holy grail for podcasters, which is the Rodecaster Pro. It has all my functions on it. I can do so many different things with it. It made recording my audio podcast life so much easier.
That's awesome. I
Yeah,
mean,
so
that's good that you found something, because sometimes you find stuff and then you're like, I don't know if it worked out too well. So I'm glad everything you got. But you know technology though, to a certain extent.
yeah, yeah, yes, sort of. Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah, I would keep up with time, but I wasn't really like a real audio. I wasn't really big into audio or
Mm,
video. Now I'm really like I've researched my mic. My mic is one of the best mics out there, and the quality on it is amazing.
that's awesome.
The mixer is one of the best mixers out there.
Mixers are a new thing, because now when I teach, I have a mixer, and I have the whole. It was so confusing at first though, how to like set it up all properly and get the music set, so that when I teach and it's all synced together. I've learned
Yeah.
so much along the way.
No, but yeah, and now the system that I'm using for video right now is StreamYard, but I'm using my OBS, which is a virtual program where I'm
Yeah,
able to add the backgrounds and add different little I can run little ads on the side. So I'm really doing my research and basically and just learning all this myself. But that's what YouTube is for.
true, 100%. I love YouTube for that. I do YouTube for my dance stuff, but like because YouTube is such a great platform. It has if you just have a question, type it in, and someone no doubt has discussed and has some sort of information on this subject, and I love that.
I've learned about my camera. Like I'm right now I'm using my Canon M50. it's a mirrorless cam, whatever it is. I can't tell you what all that is. But then I went did research like what's the best lenses for what I want to do. And I found every lens that I need, every lens that and at a good price. I was like, okay, all right then. So now now I've gotten into shooting. I've been shooting shooting pictures of my grandson. So I've been having a great deal of time. Like just I found a different part of technology that I wasn't really like. I've always wanted to take pictures. Like my wife, when we first got together, bought me this camera. It was double A batteries needed to power it. So
Okay.
it was just a starter camera. But
Yeah.
then when I really started doing the podcasting and then the videos and all this, I was like, and I could really go out and buy myself a camera that I wanted and learn, do the research on. And that's what I did. Like people went
Yeah.
and probably spent their extra money on liquor and other stuff. And I just spent it on stuff that was being creative and something that I just wanted to create better content.
Well, and I mean, that kind of circles back to like creativity. Like that is what we're doing. We're creating, we're learning. It's really and it takes one foot in front of the other, and it also takes making mistakes, but we're creating. Our heart is saying, hey, we should do this, and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to learn A, B, and C about it. And it's just like really truly one foot in front of the other, and then it guides you, and the next thing you know, you're a pro at it. People are always like, how do you do, like, because especially with the YouTube stuff that I do, yeah, I have a whole system set up like now. It did not start off like that. Like
Like that.
I had this horrible like microphone that would cut in and out, and like years ago, and that's all I knew at the time. And so yeah, when people are asking me, I'm like, yeah, that took me years to learn. That took me from that horrible mic to now. Yeah, now I have a nice system. But that did not, thank goodness my husband, he's really good at technology too, but like it still took years of like, I look at that, I just found that old mic and I was like, oh, I'm so glad I do not use this mic anymore with it. But I also do believe in quality. I think sometimes people don't want, well, I'm going to speak for myself. I think I for sure want to put the best out there. I want to make sure that I am providing the best content. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it full out. Like, if my heart's telling me, I'm going to try. But, again, some of it where I'm like, technology can be very confusing. But YouTube, shout out to YouTube. YouTube is a great way to like learn, like, how do I do it? How do I have the best sound for a video for YouTube? Like, and
Yeah.
then all these videos will pop up.
And that's how I've learned most of the
You and I
stuff that
are,
I've done.
yeah,
All
I'm
the stuff
right there
like
with you.
using OBS, using the back screen and all that. Okay, I have an answer. I got a question. All right, let me go to YouTube, and I go to YouTube,
Right.
and everything I need. What lens do I need for this? What lens do I need to take this picture? What lens do I need for that? Okay, what mic do I need for this? I got me like I bought me like even for when I record outside, I got me a transmitter and mic, lavalier mics, and I've
Mhm.
invested some money in myself,
And
and I'm
time.
excited. I'm excited to be able to go out and use the equipment. It's just that people can't associate too much.
I'm right there with
Like
you.
people like, nah, mostly.
I was just on YouTube before this because I'm trying to figure out how to use that Logitech camera properly, because it's like when I plug it in, it looks all crazy, and I'm like, and people love it. So I'm like, well, obviously I need to figure out how to use it properly. And so that's where it's really, as much as like I have to be patient as I learn these things and sit there and watch these videos. But again, for me, I want to try to bring the best, whatever I'm doing. I really do want to, I care to not just, be like, oh, I want to do it, I'm going to know everything. It's like, no, it's going to take a moment, and whatever I can learn, if I can, like you said, upgrade, if you can upgrade stuff, eventually upgrade it, you
Yeah,
know?
I'm not. I don't tell. Listen, I don't go and tell everybody. Listen, you need to upgrade. Or no, take time. It takes time.
Hmm.
And you truly, if this is what you truly want to do, if anything is what you truly want to do, then I say, yeah, invest the time. And if you have some money to invest in lessons and whatever you need to learn to improve yourself, then do it. then go ahead and do it. Don't be afraid to go and step out of your comfort zone and do
Yeah.
what you love.
Yeah. I
Whether it
mean,
be dancing, photography, anything,
anything.
whatever, as long as it's something positive, basically.
Yeah,
But
we're like,
yeah,
wait, we need to set some parameters here to each their own. But
but
like,
yeah,
yeah, as long as we're maybe
but yeah,
hopefully doing good for the world
yes, definitely.
or
But
ourselves in a
no,
positive way.
yeah, but yeah. So when people don't, when they say what are you doing to improve, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm investing in myself. I'm investing in
Yeah.
quality product. I know I want to sound better, so then I have to invest in the microphone. I
Mhm.
know that I need my video to look better. Then I need to go invest in on the camera like you did. You knew your video needs to improve. You did your research. You found the Logi to be one of the cameras up there. Then
Yeah.
just got to learn how to
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah. Now I know that was the next step where I was like, but I was seriously on YouTube prior because I was like, I want to know the answer. What's the solution? But it's like with anything, even with starting my company like 8 years ago, that was is it's been a journey. It takes time. And it's been hard for me to kind of sometimes just say, okay, but that I think that's the thing is like, is my heart's telling me to do it always, even since I was a kid. I've been like, okay, I'm gonna do it because like being a male dancer growing up, starting at 7, was not easy, and that was there was really no male dancers, and I got made fun of a lot, and people knew I was gay as well. So like there was all these, even though I wasn't out, there was still like at that time there was still lots of things that people were trying to push me down, but my heart told me like hold on, and dance was the thing that helped me kind of hold on. And that's where I really try to encourage people, myself, like when in doubt, dance it out, and use dance and use movement and use creativity to help you in your everyday life. The lessons you learn by taking any sort of dance class, you do find things to help you in your everyday life. I firmly believe that. When you like something, if you don't like it, don't don't do it. Like if it's dance, again, dance is not necessarily for everyone, but I always encourage people, give it a try, because I get a lot of people that get nervous, like, I don't dance, but I want to, but I have 2 left feet, all these things. And I always encourage people, I'm like, just try it and give yourself a
That's me. I
couple
got 2 left
tries.
feet.
See,
You know what? You know what is if the wife gets a couple of drinks in me, then she'll get me up to dance and stuff. But other than that,
I bet at a
overthinking.
wedding, you were like
I'll
on the
start
dance floor.
overthinking. Yeah, I start overthinking when I'm. But if you get a couple of drinks on me and I don't think, I'm fine. But then if I start thinking, if I'm sober and I just start thinking, I just like, yeah, what step was I supposed to do here? Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, probably
Well,
after 3 or
yeah.
4 drinks, then maybe I'll build up the courage.
Well, that's the thing. Dance is so good for it is a challenge, it's challenging. You can't just push a button and be like, yay, I can memorize choreography. But it is good for your brain to help you. So there's like many health benefits. But that's where I really just encourage people to, or no matter what, follow your heart. I think that's kind of what you and I have been chatting about, is like follow your heart.
Yeah.
What is your heart telling you to do? Not what everybody else around you is telling you to do. Is your heart telling you to start a podcast? Is your heart telling you to start crocheting? I don't know. Whatever your heart is telling you to
Whatever
do,
it
like,
is, yeah.
yeah, and take that step forward and not be, and it's okay to be afraid, but like just take that step forward and see where it takes you.
But you also have to change, like there's things people have to change about themselves. Like for me, it was really focus on just being more confident, I guess. Just not being afraid to fail, or just
Mm,
not because at first it was me like, oh, who's gonna want to listen to me? Why would somebody want to be on my show?
mm,
Why should I do this? And for me, it was just like once I hit record and just started recording and the more I recorded, and I've recorded a lot in the past year. I'm I'm talking about, oh man, I just released the episode 117 and I'm still
that's great.
backlog few months. Oh my god.
That's awesome.
So but now I've been able to, like, since I've been doing the videos lately, I've been able to release the videos out first, and then couple of probably a month or two later, I'll probably release the audio, but at least the video's out.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's another. I guess that's another aspect that I'm building up, is trying to build up my YouTube channel again.
Yeah.
YouTube.
I know. I love YouTube. I really do. I mean, I'm the same way with you with YouTube, like with because I do my dance stuff on there as well. Because it's great to provide. It's such a great platform to provide free content for people, and I get messages from people all over the world. I got a message from some mom in Mexico. Actually, I didn't understand. She wrote it in Spanish, and I didn't understand. So I like took like, thank goodness for Google, and I was like, translate
Translate it.
Spanish to English, and like, and she said that they've been in lockdown, and that in their area, and that she's so glad that her daughter has access to these videos, and and that it's been super helpful, and thank you. And that's amazing. That's awesome, because when I started the YouTube channel years ago, and with like, I don't know, I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know, in a way. Like, I'm like, I'm trying my best, I've gotten better with sound, so that's good, and video quality. But I really try to, like, it's nice that, yeah, because like now I have over 20,000 followers on there, which is great.
That's dope. That's real
I
good. Yeah.
yeah, considering I'm trying. Like, my heart is telling me to do it, and I
Listen, I want that number. I would love to have that number. That's amazing. Congratulations. Well, listen, keep doing it, man. That's awesome.
yeah, it's nice to be able to, that people, it's the messages. It's nice that I get messages from people that have it, because when you do this, sometimes, especially like, I'm going to film YouTube stuff today, I always say, like, I'm staring into the abyss of like nowhere. I just stare into the camera lens, and I try to obviously think of people on the other side of that are going to be watching it eventually, and whatever. And when I teach that way, but it's nice when you get messages after it's up on the channel, and years later you're like, oh, it's nice that it's still helping people. That's amazing, again, because I remember, and we're, again, we aged ourselves at the beginning, but like AOL startup, like, and no iPhone, and no Instagram, and no Facebook, and no all these things. It was like a disposable camera, like an AOL startup. And it's nice that technology has helped us get information out there. And that's why I'm happy to be talking to you today like this. I'm currently in Joshua Tree, California. So my husband and I spend time in Joshua Tree and in Los Angeles, and I love that I get to chat with you from Joshua Tree, and like, it's great. And I'm happy that um
Oh,
that
why do you think I
that it
want to do
brings
this
people
full
together.
time? Why do you think I want to do this full time? I want to be able, I can do this from anywhere.
Anywhere. I
I was in
know.
Puerto Rico, and I recorded episodes while I was in Puerto Rico recording my podcast.
See, that's awesome. I think a lot of
Like
people have
when I went
learned
to
that,
Jamaica,
especially with this pandemic, that they're like,
when I
oh,
went to
everything that I
Jamaica,
thought I had to do in person, I don't have to.
yeah, if I would have taken my equipment with me, I would have had a great time in Jamaica. I had a nice balcony. I could have recorded a nice live show from
Get to
the
hear the
ocean.
ocean.
Yeah. Oh man, I could have really, but I was like, nah, I'm on vacation. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
But no, this is what this is the that's the goal, is to be able to afford to be able to do this all the time
Mhm.
and not worry about going. And I listen, I have the easiest job in the world. I will not complain. I am a table game dealer in a casino.
I love it.
I get
I
I
haven't
get
been
to
to a
play
casino in
games.
forever.
I get to play games for a living. But it's just the fact that I'm punching a clock. That's all. But
Yeah.
the dealing part, yeah. But yeah,
But your
I don't
heart
have
is your
easy
heart.
game. I get
You see where your heart wants to go, and that's
yeah.
awesome. You know? I think that's the main thing, is following your heart. And, we do what we have to do. That's, I mean, as a performer, trust me, I totally understand, like, knowing everything that I want to do, but the other things that sometimes I'm like, I gotta do this so that I can pay the internet bill. So, with all of that, but I totally feel you on that. But I'm happy that you took a step forward for you, and made that step to say, okay, well, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm going to go for it because that's what I want to do. And it helped you understand yourself. I think that's really awesome, because that's what dance has done for me. So I'm always like, knowing knowing oneself is not an easy journey, But there's things that, as we take steps forward to try new things, there's things that happen that transform us if we allow, but we have to take that step forward. And I
Yeah.
think, we for sure see people that wanted like an instant, like I'm changed instantly, or as people take advantage of people's hurt and pain and vulnerability. And but there is healthy outlets, and that's why I love what dance is. Like I'm like, dance is a healthy outlet. Like it is a healthy whatever. I'm not selling you something that is crazy. This is, and I'm telling you, there's some really incredible benefits that are from health wise, obviously, but like spiritually for me, or whatever that is for somebody, it will help you connect to yourself. I was telling my husband the other day, a dance has helped me. I know I do this. Dance has helped me feel like present in my body. It's helped me because I've had to constantly work on connecting 8 counts to my brain and my body, and and it helps me be present in my body. And I'm like, that's something not to take lightly. That's actually, I do it now without thinking about it, but like that is a big deal. And that's why I love helping people get into their body to understand how to use it, and then also it will help them in their everyday life out in the real world.
Definitely. All right, Joseph. So now is the time where you just plug away everything, anywhere everybody can find your Instagram. Now is your time to plug your website, everything.
Well, everything's at 567broadway.com. So that's good. So Instagram, 567 Broadway, YouTube, just type in 567 Broadway or my name, Joseph Corella. But if you're ever like, all these things, 567broadway.com. Once again, that is 567broadway.com.
All right. Thank you, Joseph, for being on. Don't leave just yet. I'm going to give my quick shout outs, and then we'll talk a little bit before, in the back.
Okay.
All right. So now it's time for shout outs. Big shout out to my Real Wise fam, Brandy J, Poppy J. Love you guys. Big shout out to the boss lady, Fina. Love you, baby. And as always, a big shout out to all the essential workers out there. God bless you. Be safe. You know how your boy Wise does it. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Listen on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, and TuneIn. Find us on social media on Twitter at wise_b_blunt, Instagram at wise_b_blunt, and a Facebook fan page, www.facebook/wise76. Check back soon for new episodes. Until next time, peace out.